Hi, today I'm going to give you some tips on figure drawing, especially like really quick sketches, like 2-minute figure drawing. Hi, my name is Escobar. I'm a storyboard artist on the Simpsons television show. I've been working on the show for over 25 years now, and I'm here to empower you. So one of the reasons why you would want to do, for example, 2-minute, 30-second, 1-minute figure drawings is just the iteration part of it. So what happens with your brain is that your brain doesn't really learn from doing something one time, right? The one time, it's just a single experience. Once you do it twice, then it makes a value judgment based on you can make a value. Have you improved? Have you not improved? Was the first time better? Was the first time worse? So at that point, now you have two different things that and your brain doesn't know which one is the direction to go with, so you have to do it again. So the third time, now maybe you messed up, or maybe you did well. If you messed up, then your brain thinks that the messing up is the way to do it. So that's bad, right? If you did it well, then your brain thinks that well is the way to do it, which is right. However, you have to reinforce it, so you have to do it again. And you have to do it again and again and again. So what you're doing is you're iterating, you're reinforcing good things and making sure you get the bad stuff out of the way so that you can mess up more. Make sure not to mess up more by doing it correctly the next time. And so you keep trying to do it right the next time over and over in order to condition your brain into knowing, understanding what it is that you want out of your drawing, your movement, etc. The problem is that if you're doing something like this and you're spending an hour or 2 hours, 3 hours, a couple of days on one thing, you don't get that experience very fast. It's going to take you forever to get to that iteration. So what you do is you do very short drawings for a limited amount of time so that you could get the iteration, you could get through the iteration faster. All right, so that's one reason why you want that. The other reason is also to speed up the process, understanding things. And one of the things that happens when you only have 2 minutes is that you don't have time to draw detail. So as people, we're drawn to detail. Just naturally, we just will like detail, right? And so when we start looking at something as complicated as the human body, all we want to do is draw all the little lumpy, bumpy little, and you don't have the time to do that when you're doing a fast 2-minute drawing, right? So simplification is important. Simplification is key to doing very short poses. So I'm going to show you this by example, and I'm going to do 3 2-minute drawings. And the reason why I'm doing 3 and not more, usually I tend, in a figure drawing class, you tend to usually do about 10 before you break, right? You do 10 2 minutes. I'm only going to do 3, and partly is because it's just going to take too long to keep showing you quick sketches. And second, and that's really the reason, it's just I just want to make this a little bit short. And I'll do another video with even more examples if you want. So maybe I'll do 3 2 minutes for like a few videos. But I'm also going to do 5-minute poses as well, and I'll probably do 2 5 minutes because that'll be like 10 minutes already. So that's I'll do these examples and talk about different things throughout, and hopefully through my example you're going to start being able to understand some of the thinking, some of the process, some of the one way to approach it. I'm not going to show, this is not the definitive way, this is the absolute way, but this is one way of thinking about doing 2-minute poses that I've picked up over the years. And I will approach these things in different ways throughout these videos. So maybe I'll pick certain topics, certain challenges to do, so to help certain things. For example, if you are somebody who always drawing curves and everything is all curves and curves and curves, and then your figures always look like they're just made out of mush, well, I'll show you how to do figure drawings with just lines and just straight lines, stuff like that. And you're going to have to bear with me a little bit because I'm not used to digital figure drawing. I'm super used to doing this traditionally. So I've set up my workspace as best as I can to simulate doing this with traditional tools, but this is going to be something that I'm just not very used to doing digitally. I definitely much prefer doing this traditionally. But enough of that. Let's get to the figure drawings. Okay, so let's begin with this back pose. As you can see, I'm not drawing necessarily on a white sheet of paper or virtual paper. I like to have some kind of value already on the paper. This kind of simulates to me, makes it feel more like I am drawing on newsprint. So I like to do that just because it gives me a mid-tone to work with in case I want to actually add some light. But in this case, since we're only going to do 2 minutes, it's not going to be a big deal. So I have a timer here right next to me on my phone, and I'm going to use it to do the 2 minutes, the timing. And so you'll probably hear the beeping of, and so here we go. So beginning with this back pose. I usually start with the head and come up with some kind of gesture of some sort. So I'm simplifying here all the parts as much as possible. Establishing the general width of the pose. There I just did these little circles that I'm doing is a negative space. So not a whole lot. We can't really do a whole lot here with this pose here. So I'm simplifying everything, including the values. I'm adding a few details here because I actually have the time to do so, and again, not going full into all the details here, just enough, simplifying everything so that I'm just not used to being doing this digitally, having to switch back and forth between pens here. But I do. Oh, so there goes my alarm. So that's 2 minutes. So that's as far as we got with this one. So if you noticed, I everything here is simplified. Even the values are simplified. There is no lumpy bumps. I just added some. It's kind of an abstract version of what is there, so that it implies rather than completely shows all the things, right? Like I'm just working on the simplicity of the drawing here. Okay, so let's switch to a different pose. All right, and here we go. I'm going to start the timer. Again, starting with the head, just to give me some place to start, right? Looking for gesture, just connections, just laying in everything I can. The idea here being that I'm trying as hard as possible to place all the things where they are, while at the same time exaggerating everything that I see to really push this further. Simplify, simplify, simplify. Everything's about simplicity. And now I'm going to add a little bit of value, even though, oh boy, the shadows are right in the middle of this figure. It's an extremely dynamic lighting scheme here. Extremely dynamic. So I'm really simplifying as much as possible. It's so, there is so much value here. There's so much light and dark. One of the things you kind of want when you're doing figure drawing is good lighting. Now that I've done the gist of the lighting, I'm going to try to add a little bit more finesse on the exterior lines. I haven't got a lot of time, so I got to simplify as much as possible. All of this stuff is lost, so it's one of these things where I think perhaps ideally what I should have done was just darken all of this in and just left some of the light in here and really focused on maybe some of the details in here. But again, this is the entire point of these things is exactly that. Like you're iterating, right? So like even my own self-critique here, I could have, what could I have done better? What choices did I do that maybe I should have done different? So it's self-evaluation is important. Okay, so this is going to be our last pose. Let's see. All right, so this weird lady. All these poses, by the way, I made sure to find poses that had people in clothes while still allowing me to be somewhat, it's still a figure drawing, right? The least amount of clothes as possible without them being nude so that I could show you in the video. All right, so here's the last pose, and I'm going to start now. So again, beginning with the head, just to give me something. Shoulders, shoulder direction, pit of the neck, side of the body, coming down here, this is getting out of control. I'm already going off the page, but that's bad. We definitely should have more control over your drawings so that this sort of thing doesn't happen. You don't want your drawing to go off the page like this. This is actually an extremely bad thing. Okay, that being said, we're gonna have to live with it because it happens. Values, very quick placement of values. Notice I'm just kind of putting in where the darks tend to be and what general shape they make, and where the values are, not all the lumpy bumps. But see how it already makes it a little bit more solid here. So let's work now on adding a little bit more finish to this. Okay, so having learned from my mistake in the last pose, I'm going to tackle doing the light side first. and I'm out of time. Okay, so that's it. So that's how I would approach 2-minute drawings. See how, here we are. Let's pull this aside. It's really too bad that this last one over here went off the page. That's not okay. We wanted to at least excuse me, have the feet in there. Ideally, you'd kind of want to plant the feet, you know, have so that there's an actual space, and you can do, after you're done with your 2 minutes, you know, you could just add like little bits here like that. But I mean, ideally, you don't want to just go in there and then just keep futzing with it. You're done. That's as far as you can get. So let's talk about a few of the ideas again. Notice that all the details here are not there. There are no details. It's a generalization, a general placement of values. For example, here's all the values are over here on this side. I didn't go, ooh, all the little lumpy, bumpy things in here. It's just like here, this side's shadow, this side's shadow, this side's shadow over here, but this is light. And then you go in and you start adding some of the definition, and even in the definition I didn't go, ooh, little lumpy. It's actually more like a C curve. I'm thinking C curves and straight, simplification, simple ideas here, side. So the idea here is like, this is more of a sphere, let's just go full on sphere, right? This is more of a tube, let's go on full on tube. I'm thinking about these things in as simple a shapes as possible, so that we could get the most out of the figure. And sometimes things like, for example, right here, this is way too long. This goes down way too far. The calves should be down here. Like there's plenty that isn't correct. But the idea is to try to get the general placement of the things, general idea of what you're seeing and what is there. And I will make another video doing more 2 minutes to show you different challenges, different things that tend to happen. But these are only 3 drawings. So and even having done these 3, there's plenty to learn, even having done the 3. So if you've done 10, you're gonna have a lot more to think about, a lot more to learn from, and so it's ideal to do these 2 minutes a lot, because you learn a lot just from doing something as simple as this. Okay, hopefully this has been helpful, and thanks for watching. Leave any feedback, any ideas for more figure drawings, any trouble that you're having. I will try to address it in other videos. If you put down things that concerns you, things that weren't clear, that would be great. I'm perfectly happy to answer all those questions in later videos if you have questions like that about figure drawing. Because to me, this is something that I actually do enjoy figure drawing quite a bit. And doing this while at the same time being able to explain what I'm doing, and having other people kind of maybe learn off of my mistakes or the things that I actually do know about, you know, that sort of thing. This sort of thing, figure drawing, is something that you'll never get good at ever. Like this is like the endless learning, right? You'll always learn something new from figure drawing. You'll never truly master it, because there's always some challenge when it comes to figure drawing. So feel free to ask any questions about anything that you've seen here, or other things that you have trouble with, and I will try my best to answer them. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time. All right, bye.